In this video, I'll talk to you about Kobbie Mainoo and why Ghana Black Stars isn't attractive as it was before. So Kobbie Mainoo is an English-born Ghanaian player. Yes, English-born Ghanaian player. His father is from Ghana and his mother is from Ghana. His father is called Felix Mainoo. His father is an old student of Accra Academy. Yes, the Bleu boys. Yes, and his father is a United fan. So let me give you a brief background of Kobbie Mainoo. So Kobbie Mainoo, father used to take him to training when he was 4 years old. Yes, in England, 4 years old. He started kicking the ball at 4 years old, and at 6 years old, Manchester City and Manchester United were chasing him for his signature. And you know, he was playing football, enjoying football at a very young age, and the family ended up choosing United because United was the club of his father, and United had like more freedom for the kids. So that is when you go to Manchester City Academy do not allow the kids to have more freedom to play. They play to instructions. But at Manchester United, the kids are allowed to have more freedom. And I think at the Manchester United Academy, he met the likes of Kyle Rooney, Darren Fletcher, and he had a lot of the big names, surnames in the Manchester United Academy. And at Manchester United Academy, he's grown to become one of the best players now in the Premier League, playing for Manchester United, playing for Eric Ten Hag. I mean, I think he's gone 18 games without a break for Manchester United, and he's become such an integral player for Manchester United under Eric Ten Hag. And one of his main strengths is going to take the ball from Andre Onana and distributing the ball. He grew up playing football as an attacking midfielder, as a striker, and developing as a player. He ended up being more central, more like a number 8 and more like a number 6. So yesterday he confirmed that he's been handed a call up to be an English player and to play for the England Three Lions national team, and it's something that is really interesting for him. But we Ghanaians are really put in such a mood that we are losing all the generational talents. We are really losing all the players that need to play for the Black Stars of Ghana, and it's such a conversation happening. So I'm trying to tell you more about why Black Stars is so unattractive now in this video. So let's get started. So in recent times, Ghana football has really lost its attractiveness. For me, I started watching Ghana football when I was very, very young. I mean, at the time, Ghana wasn't even playing the AFCON. I mean, in 2002, thereabouts, Ghana played an AFCON. 2004, we're out. I remember watching the Tunisia AFCON, and Tunisia won it with Ali Bomnijel as their goalkeeper, and Tunisia did a host and win. In 2008, Ghana hosted the AFCON. I remember very well how Ghana had a team of stars. We had the likes of Samir J, the likes of John Pinto, the likes of John Mensah, and the likes of Richard Dickinson. We hosted a tournament, and I think our prime as a nation, for me, has been in 2010 World Cup when we went to the quarterfinals. We nearly even entered the semi-final stage when Asamoah missed that penalty kick. And the thing is, after the World Cup, Ghana had this high-class friendly game. We had a chance to play with England, and even that, Danny Welbeck chose to play for England ahead of Ghana. I mean, it tells you how big it is for them to play for England. Danny Welbeck's a player that grew up in the ranks of Manchester United. He's also fully Ghanaian. He knew Danny Welbeck, Nitaki Welbeck, but he played for England. We lost out on Memphis Depay. We lost out on Mario Balotelli. We lost out on so many big talents. And the thing is, why is this happening? I think the main thing that's happening now is because we are not developing our football. The only big player that we've been able to convince in recent times has been Kevin Prince Boateng. He came into our Black Star setup and he slotted in perfectly. He was so good, scoring goals, carrying himself for the nation. And even that, after the World Cup, we didn't really see Kevin Prince Boateng playing well for the Black Stars of Ghana. I told you that it's very important that we develop our own, but it's really important that we get our own Black Star players. Lack of infrastructure in this country. So some of these players really love this country. Let me tell you, Kobbie Mainoo loves Ghana. But when he looks at Ghana now, he'll be like, Ghana? Why should I leave England and play Ghana? You give me any reasons why I'm supposed to leave England and play for Ghana. What does Ghana have that England does not already give him? You get me? So many of these players who choose Ghana ahead of England is probably because they don't have any chance in England. That's the truth. There are no training infrastructure here in Ghana here. So let me give you an example. When we're preparing to play the AFCON tournament, the president of Ghana says, don't go to Dubai, come and train in Ghana here because the tournament is in Ivory Coast. There wasn't any pitch. The players were complaining. Yes, complaining that the pitch at Abrankese or something wasn't good enough. Yes, so imagine going to get a player like Kobbie Mainoo who has training on ultra modern pitches ever since he was 4 to come and play in Ghana here. So we're supposed to do our things as a country, and it's not only the problem of the FA, it's a collective problem. Let's come together and solve the problem. Find more infrastructure. We've seen what the government is doing with the like of asho thefts in every community is something that we're supposed to really commend. Let's get more Ghanaian academies to be in. Look at what Right to Dream is doing for Ghana now. Yes, to the point that we are now going for a certain Mohamed Diomande, who is an Ivorian, to come and play for Ghana. Oh my God, when did that happen? Do you get what I mean? And I'm told that Mohamed Diomande doesn't even have any Ghanaian roots. One thing I really remember too is when Ghana was in our prime, one thing I remember was that there was a development plan for Ghana to develop our own players. So the likes of John Pinto were playing in senior high school, the likes of Michael Essien was playing in senior high school, the likes of Kudwa Samoa were all in a certain system. And Ghana went in for them, and now we are tapping from the likes of Right to Dream. I mean, can't quit your grandpa. Like the team like Liberty used to give Ghana talent. Yes. Richard Kisibuatin, Solomon Asante, the likes of Asamoah, the likes of Solomon Tari. They were all players that came from the Liberty system. So I'm thinking we need to create such systems. We need to go back to the senior high schools and get Ghanaian players, get those who have gone through our own system and get them to play for Ghana. Other than that, we are always going to be suffering. You know, when we go to abroad for this dual citizen Ghanaian, that many of my players that really do not have a chance to play for their country of birth. You get it? So it's time for us to do that system again, go back to the senior high schools and get these Ghanaian players to play for the Blasters of Ghana and develop them on our own. And one thing too I need to say is, look, mothers must leave their children to play football now. Because football now is even higher than medical doctor for me. Which medical hospital can pay my Ghanaian like how we used to earn in England? It's time for us to allow the players to come from their homes. Let mothers allow them to play. When your child is a footballer, it's also a good profession, just like being a doctor, or just like being anything, just like being a lawyer. Do you get it? And even football now is on a higher level. Which company would Asamoah work in to make that money he used to make in our line? Do you get it? So mothers should allow their kids to play football. Yes, Ghanaian mothers should allow them to play football. It is really something that we have to say to Ghanaian homes. And then one thing that we have to also say is there's limited opportunities in Ghana here. You know what? Let me give you an example. Abedi Pele was 18-year-old, but in the 82 squad, I think Abedi Pele was 16-year-old, but in the 1982 squad that won the AFCON, Abedi Pele was part. Yes. One thing that we have to know is when a player is generational, we have to let them play. And that's one of the problems Ghana is having now. Because right now, if we see a generational talent and we introduce him to our team, when he comes to our Black Stars team, he will be on the bench. That's what we are having with Enes Nyama. Look at how good Nyama is. But Nyama is on the bench now for Ghana Black Stars. He can't start a game. We have to give them opportunity. So imagine if you are Kobbie Mainoo and you know that a player like Nyama is being treated like this. Imagine. Even there were times when we were supposed to bench Kudus Mohammed for Andre to play, when we knew Andre Ayew's best position was not number 10. It was recently when the media started fighting for Kudus Mohammed when Kudus Mohammed eventually had his place in the Black Star setup. Do you get what I mean? So my point is, we are supposed to give this young boy a chance. Look, go to Spain, go to France, go to England. Look at the likes of Phil Foden. They are playing for the national team because you are good enough. And if you are good enough to play for Manchester City, you are good enough to play for England national team. So if we get an 18-year-old central midfielder who plays for Berekum Chelsea and he's good enough to bench Thomas Partey, why not give him the chance to play? That is what we should be encouraging, and that is what is going to keep the Ghanaian players playing abroad on their toes to play very well when they come to play for Ghana. The football structure in Ghana must change. We must allow young guys the chance to play for the Black Stars of Ghana, if they are generational even if they are young. So let me really explain something to you. Kobbie Mainoo playing for England is not a news. It's no news for Kobbie Mainoo playing for Ghana is no news. We all knew he was going to play for England. If England comes calling, how many players can choose Ghana ahead of England? Ask, how many players? No. And if they choose Ghana ahead of England, their careers might probably go downhill. What we must learn from Kobbie Mainoo is that we really need to provide, and we really need to produce our own players for the Blasters of Ghana. It's really important for Ghana as a nation. let's go back to the grassroots, get our own players, build a strong national team. When it is strong, I'm sure there's a Ghanaian player also in Man United Academy now trying to come up. What will happen is when Ghana national team is really on top of African football again, they will come themselves. They will be sending proposals to play for Ghana ourselves. We only have to do our things very well and bring Ghana to the most important part of African football, win the African again, back-to-back AFCON. Let's see Ghana Blasters doing amazing job for African football. I think Ghana football rise again. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section. The best yet to come. Bye for now.